Hey, babes, and thanks for tuning into my podcast, The Chat. I'm your host, Jay, and this is my guest,
Cam.
So great. And today we are going to be talking about what more will we be talking about other than America and what's going on now, which this is not no part three. This is just like how would I explain it? Like, it's not like a part three. It's just like, I guess, American update. Or like presidential debate update. But we're going to be talking about a lot more things.
So
but as
basically,
everybody...
just like a update, like in the world, like what's going on right now, like
Yeah.
current
Yeah.
situations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, yeah, worldly update. Let's get it started. Okay, so as everybody knows, Joe Biden. Oh my God, I wish. Bernie Sanders has dropped out the presidential race, which
Let me just tell you,
I'm not too happy and thrilled about it, but I still
he took it better than I did because I didn't know
because it's
like
still a way to vote for them.
right.
But I'm gonna let you go.
Like the thing about it is, I try to stay somewhat current as far as what's going on in the world, especially with this COVID-19 coronavirus going on. For the past couple of nights, I have been trying to keep up with the news, NBC news updates and things like that, which is crazy. The stuff like sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe I shouldn't have watched this because now I'm overreacting to certain things, but. You are basically the one that always keep up with that type of stuff. But when you told me today, I was happy and my whole mood entirely just
He sure
changed.
did because he didn't want to talk to me. He didn't want to do nothing. I was just like, hello, are you okay?
Right.
Hey, are you gonna talk to me?
And it wasn't like you or anything. It was just I started thinking about a lot of stuff. Like I started thinking about like, man, the things that I hoped that I felt like, oh my gosh, we finally finished see a change in this problem and that problem and that problem. It felt as if somebody just said, "Ha, gotcha, nice try," basically. You know what I'm saying? I felt bamboozled, and I know that he has his own reasons. So I can't judge him or I can't speak on something that I'm not doing because I didn't put any money up or anything like that. But at the same time, from my point of view, from the outside looking in, I felt like it was a cop-out. Like, no disrespect to Bernie, but I still felt like it was a cop-out. Like, I mean, what about your supporters? What about the people that were rooting for you, that are still rooting for you, that still plan on voting for you? I feel like you kind of let us down. Like, I feel like, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
and I completely understand that, and I think that people have oftentimes just said, well, if they're going to drop out, I guess the next best thing would be to go ahead and vote for, I guess, in this case, it'd be for voting for Joe Biden. And I'm just like, no. I'm going to write him in because there's still a chance that he can get elected. I mean, stupid ass people were literally voting in Harambe last time in 2016, I remember, because I was like, who the fuck wrote in Harambe? And this is why we're in the shitter now, because America has this very bad thing about picking the wrong leader every single time and then gets upset when the leader doesn't do what they want them to do or anything in between. Right. And I think that a lot of the times we need to formulate what is our next step? What would be the next best person instead of just letting people influence us in such a way to where we just say, oh, fuck it, I'm just going to go ahead and vote for them because that's what everybody else wants me to do.
Right. And I definitely... And I know I didn't express it, but like when you reminded me, well, Cam, you do know you still can vote for him. You just do it right.
Just write his name in.
I really, I didn't think about that. So that it gave me a sense of a little bit of hope, but still regarding back to what I said before, like, you have all these people that were behind you, and I don't know. It's just part of me. I just kind of feel like I said again, I don't know how the numbers and all that works in politics, but I'm just like, I'm the type of person, if you are going to run, you knew before you even started, before this, political season started, you already knew that it would possibly be a term that could possibly make you lose some of your votes, or you wouldn't necessarily be in first place. You knew you were going to run through obstacles. So for me, I feel like you already knew that in the beginning. Why quit? That was my whole thing. Like I said, I don't know politically correct terms and how they work the numbers and everything, but still, for me, I feel like don't just stop. You know what I'm saying? Because you feel like, oh, well, I'm not going to win it nowhere. I feel like you started this already. Go ahead and see it through. And who knows if you would have saw it through. And you know what I'm saying? If you had more people out there, like you were saying, to, speak on the good that you did for this country, especially in this pandemic, how you gave the money that you gave, you know what I'm saying? Like
3.3 or 3.6 million actually that he raised for coronavirus.
Right.
And coronavirus relief.
And I told you, I was like, the fact that this man is not even president and he was able to raise that much money and he did it, it wasn't like at least from how I feel, I don't feel that it was a situation like, well, if I can do this, then he wasn't doing it for the votes. Yeah. That's how I feel.
I don't think he ever did anything for the votes, His work dates back so far. It's so original, actually. When I get to talking about Bernie Sanders, I get very passionate, and that's why I don't like people telling me what the fuck to do with my vote, because it's my vote at the end of the day. I do what I want with my vote. You can do what you want with your vote. Now, with that being said, I feel like a lot of times it was rigged to get him. It is actually. It's not like I feel. It is rigged to get him, because every time he did something good, nothing was in the news. It's the only time I seen him in the news was the fact that he raised, I don't remember how much money that was that he raised for his campaign, because, when you run campaigns, you need donors. And he didn't actually go off the big corporation donors. He went off the actual American people, which made him even more real. And people are up here thinking about electing in, like, I guess it's called the Green Party or something like that, which is inevitably the next best thing. But if people don't even know about these people, why would you vote for them? But again, I'm gonna re-say this again. Do what you want with your vote, but I feel if you're gonna write in anybody,
he needed sponsors. That's the word I was trying to think of when you said donors. Yeah.
Now you don't make me forget what I was saying. Oh, and if you're gonna be writing in anybody, just go ahead and write in Bernie Sanders. I mean, 300. He was only behind 300 delegates, and that was in just Wisconsin. Wisconsin. Shut up. Nick. I'm just kidding. That was only in Wisconsin, so I mean, and plus you can't even really calculate that because all of this stuff is going on. Who is really like getting out full-fledgedly to vote? It's not like they're going door to door and like, okay, who are you voting for? Boom, boom, boom. What's your social security? What's your blah blah blah? It's not just simply like that.
And you brought up a very good valid point as far as he definitely quit at the wrong time. Like if he was gonna quit, you quit at the wrong time because no one is out voting because they can't. Like there are so many people, so many states that are on, curfew, either on curfew or just about completely shut down. And if they're not shut down completely, then they can't be in a, you know what I'm saying? We have to still social distance. So unless somebody knows information that I don't know, I mean, I don't know for sure that we actually have a way to like where we can do all this online.
I haven't heard of any way that you could do it online or through any app or anything like that as far as voting or anything like that. Plus, I would prefer to get my first experience inside of a building, which is a big cost. Like, he was telling people, I don't think we should really be holding this right now. We need to be paying attention to the people. And there's like this article, and someone was saying in the comment section, I was watching videos on Bernie Sanders and seeing about his campaign and why did he quit, because that's been like the big talk.
But that goes back to my point as far as like with all this going on, and I even say that might be a little redundant. I was gonna say that even if we did have a way to do it online, I mean, that's really something that's kind of pushed to the side because this world is fighting for our lives right
exactly now. And he was fighting for things like the Green New Deal, stuff that would actually help people. $15 an hour to be the new minimum wage. Nobody wants to talk about the actual
taking away student loan debt.
Exactly, the things that really affect people. And we have those type of people that's like, well, I'm not in college anymore, so just I don't care. Well, you can't do that all the time.
Or that is the one thing that I feel that, of course, I have my opinion, everyone else has theirs. But as Americans, I feel like we're so selfish sometimes.
Yes,
because
we
it's
definitely
like,
are.
We don't. As long as it's not, and we've said this before, as long as it's not within your actual immediate household, you don't care about it. It's like, well, it doesn't
get out of that,
right? Because what about your brother? You may have a child that needs to get loans to go to school, and something may happen to where they're unable to graduate college and have to get terminated, but they still have those loans under their belt. And I'm one of those people. Like, I'm not even going to give a number because that's how much I owe, but like, it's hard. And then on top of that, with this pandemic and everything that's going on, it's even harder. So it's just like, instead of just looking at it from perspective, well, all my debts paid, like I ain't got to worry about it, so why should I care about the next American? You should care because it can happen to your grandchild, it can happen to your child, it can happen to your neighbor, your brother, somebody that you care about, or you may need to go back to school in the future to get a raise or a better job. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, these type of problems, they matter. Like being able to afford to go to school to get degrees so you can get better jobs, so you can provide for your household, that's important for everyone. I don't think that there's anyone in this world, yet alone in this country, that doesn't want to make money, that doesn't want to provide for their household.
And while we're on the subject of that, this is just going to be about presidential races. We're going to be actually talking about things that actually matter. I was talking with a friend. I don't know if he was saying it jokingly or whatever. You already know my friend Kate. I was talking with him, and he was saying something about how people who work in fast food don't need a raise or something like that. It went something along the line. I know, right? Just let me say this first. He was saying something about how we don't need to get higher pay, and then I tried my best not to cut a fool on him. Cause
don't clutch my pearls, clutch this collarbone.
Wait, let me finish. I tried my best not to,
go on.
Really beat off in him like I was gonna beat off in him, and I had to tell him, listen, sometimes you have to pay motherfuckers more money to get the job done, but at the same time, we do a lot, and for just the minimum wage to be $7.25, that's some bullshit. We have to fucking wash dishes. We have to service people. And we also have to work with our coworkers, which also are more fucking people. We have to clean up behind other people. It's a whole bunch of stuff. We have to clean up stuff constantly. Sometimes we don't even have enough staff to even do as much cleaning as we need to fucking be doing. But that's a whole nother talk for a whole nother day. That's just like today it wasn't so bad because, you know, it wasn't like a lot of people in there, but it's just like, y'all got to come on now with the attitudes. Don't come through somebody else's business establishment and have all of these, you know.
And even on top of that, like, I know.
Let me finish. You can go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, on top of that, like, even though I'm sure y'all not really worried about, like, this not the topic of discussion or mandatory now being the fact of what's going on, but also in most fast food restaurants, like, you have a timer.
Yeah,
that's it. Like,
we do.
You can't just take your time and do whatever.
Exactly. That's why I tell people, if you're checking your food, pull down, please, because, you know, we have a timer that we're on, and we can't necessarily control what the time goes to, but we try to as much as we can. Now, that's just hard work and dedication because it can't go past 3 minutes. Now, everybody knows you can't even make 24 tacos at home,
right,
in less than, you know, 3 minutes. If you do, I bet them tacos are sloppy as hell.
Right. But that's what I was saying as far as so.
But what I basically told him was, look, we do a lot of work. And sometimes it's unnecessary work, and we don't get paid enough for doing that, for dealing with your attitude. Then I have to deal with my attitude and my coworkers' attitudes. And then we have to somehow make ends meet. So basically what you're saying is, oh, fuck you. You working, just because I work in fast food, I don't deserve. We don't get down like that. Everybody over here go to work. What the fuck is that? Let me stop playing. What was that?
I think it was like, I told you, been having problems with the central air and heat.
Oh, okay. So basically, that's what I was telling. So basically, since I work in fast food, I don't deserve good living wages to actually be able to take care of my family and anything else I want to take care of.
And so, no disrespect
so I deserve
to your
to be
people
paid
or anything.
Slave wages because you don't believe I deserve the money that I'm worth.
But my whole thing is, I would try to figure out why does he feel like that? Because from my perspective, even though I've never worked in fast food before, but at the same time, I have a respect for it because I've been in customer service for 7+ years. So I know like fast food restaurants is a whole nother level of customer service,
yes,
but
it is.
Still it's customer service, and the fact like it's an honest living. So I feel like any type of job that is an honest living, why not get paid more than minimum wage?
And the people who honestly say that, I bet they haven't worked in fast food at all.
Right.
That's the whole thing. That's the whole problem about it. You can't speak on a way of living that you've never lived.
And on top of
lived like.
And on top of that, why do you feel, or why would someone feel that somebody that works at a warehouse should get paid $16, $17, $18 that don't even have to deal with customers? Yet alone, all they doing is really just packaging. Like, cause I can say this because I worked in warehouse. Like, it is still hard and it's still long hours, but you don't have to deal directly with customers. So, and then with restaurants and customer service, you're doing all that. You're doing more than just handling a cash register. And on top of that, you're making sure you get orders right. You making sure you provide an excellent customer service. You still making sure that you have to handle the difficult customers as well as the difficult orders. If something is wrong, you have to correct it, which is holding up the line, but you still have to make sure that once that person is taken care of, that your line is still flowing briskly. And on top of that, you still have to make sure that your cash is right in your drawers.
Right. So, like today, I told you about that problem that I had. You know, that customer, he came through, he bought some food. By the time when he got to the window, he handed me a $100 bill. I told him, this register is fresh. Let me ask my manager, do we have any change? She told me they can't put, you know, that large amount of bills in, you know, the vault. Vault. Whatever the hell it's called. I think it is called the vault. So, then I go back to the person and say, hey, you're going to have to go and find some change because we don't have change in this store. you're gonna probably have to go to Circle K. So then he goes, they pull up, they goes in Circle K, and then they come back, and then only one of them came back, and then it took like 3 minutes for the other person to come back, and then he said, here you go, and they handed me back $100. And I'm just like, get what I just said.
Right.
So then he was like, I just want my food, man. I just want my food. You know, I ain't leaving without my food. And I'm just like, sir, you haven't even paid for it yet.
Right.
Like, do you understand that it's not your food until you pay for it? First of all, I'm telling you that we don't have any change, and then you proceed to tell me, hey, I'm not going to be riding up and down Zebulon to get no change.
Well, who fault?
And then I turned around to my man. I closed my window and I said, "Please come handle him." To my manager, I told him, "Please come up here and handle him."
Right.
And then she was telling him the same thing, and we both got very frustrated. But you know, you couldn't really tell that we both. Well, you could tell, but not really. I was just looking at him like, are you fucking serious? Because if you really want this food,
right,
I'm going to go find a change to go get my food.
Right.
And after that, when he left and pulled off, we didn't see him no more. So you evidently did not want the food as much as you thought you wanted the food. Because if I wanted the food, I was going to drive up and down Zebulon to get my food.
At the end of the day, you don't have to drive up and down Zebulon. They have ATM.
They had an ATM next door, but I'm saying, right, the only thing he had to do, put $100 on the card, had the friends swipe the card, and boom, boom, boom. That type of shit pissed me off. And that's the type of stuff that we deal with on a daily basis, with people being rude and disrespectful and cunty. Like, and I don't have time for it. And people say, I don't deserve more pay, is a direct slap in the face, because if I don't do the job, who the fuck is? Now you got no food at all.
Exactly.
You get it?
Know, and I feel
just like I'm working. I'm sorry. Let me interrupt you real quick. Just like I'm working right now, and we don't get any hazard pay. Like, there was this person that came to the drive-thru today, and he's like,
oh my God.
And I was just like,
did he have a mask?
What the fuck? No, he didn't have no mask, no gloves. And then my manager told me to park the car. Basically, for people who don't know what parking the car is, means when you ask the person what they pull up to the window or like pull up to the rail and you'll bring the food out to them. Mm-hmm. That's what parking is. And I had to take the food out there, and I felt so uncomfortable because I'm like, I'm touching this man money. I'm all in this man's face because he talking so fucking low. I got to be all the way up in his face. And then I back up and I'm just like, okay. And then I have to go outside, get this close to him to give him his food. And I just want to know, like, what the fuck? Like, where's my hazard pay? Like, if I get sick, of course they've offered sick leave, but that's only for the times that you're on the schedule.
Well, they need to do, like, I did
see
one thing, right, and in California, every essential business, they all have masks. They all, like, companies have made the mask, even for, like, restaurants, you know, working with food and everything. And I feel like that should be mandatory for every business that's
I think it should be mandatory for the customers. Every customer needs to have on the gloves and the mask. And another thing I want to speak on while I have you on the line. Let me stop, man. I think this was yesterday. Yes, it was the day before yesterday or something like that. This lady came through drive-thru, and I was passing her. She was asking me. She was like, "Did you change the glove?" And I was like, "No." I mean, I literally just got through with the customer before you, and now I'm at you right now asking you for your money. And you know, she gave me the money. She was like, I ain't trying to be funny or whatever, but blah blah blah. And you know, and then I took the money, and then I was finna give her back the change and said, no, you can keep that. I don't want it.
Thank you.
And then I was like, okay, whatever. And then I put the money on the side, and then she was like, how you gonna give me my napkins and my sauces? And I was like, I'm finna put it in your bag. She was like, I don't want your hands in my bag. I don't want your hands in my bag. So I ended up not giving her Well, I gave her some napkins in the bag, but I did not give her any sauce. Actually, no, I didn't. I didn't give her any napkins or any sauce. And then she was telling me how she didn't want me to touch her bag, and I'm just like,
how the
how
hell you
the
gonna
fuck
get your
are
food?
you gonna get your food if I don't give you the bag? You sound stupid.
So my reaction to that whole situation, like, okay, like, y'all, let's be very serious and very clear. At the end of the day, when you as a customer choose to go out to eat or go to a restaurant to get your food, you are taking that risk of possibly being exposed. I mean, like, I hate to say it, but even we do it when we, you know, if we ain't really got nothing to eat in the house and like, hey, babe, you want to go and get something to eat? We do the same thing, but like, you can't expect for, I mean, like, if y'all don't have the supplies necessary to like change out gloves like that on a
There's
regular
no.
and stuff,
I mean, we kind of
it's
do,
nothing
but
that
we
can
don't
do
at the same time.
It's nothing you can do. But I'm just saying, like, again, who is gonna get the bag if you don't want him touching your bag? Who is gonna put the napkins in if you don't want him touching anything? Like, again, you knew these risks before you came into this drive-through. So I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, it's really,
you know,
crazy.
That's the type of thing that really pisses me off, because I'm just like, you knew what you were getting into before you left the house. If it's this big of a fucking deal, just go into Walmart, Kroger, buy the shit, and make it at home.
Right.
I mean, if I really wanted something, you think I'm about to be just sitting around just like, oh, and you know, just motherfucking starve in my house? No, ma'am.
Right.
I'm gonna take the initiative, take the precautions that I need to take, and go out and get my food if I need to. Right. That's why I don't even really be tripping on the food like that. And I understand, hell, just have some fucking hand sanitizer in your car.
Exactly.
Or some rubbing alcohol.
No, of course it's different. Like, if you as the worker came up to the window, here's your chain. Like, that's different. Exactly. If you're doing all that carrying on. And of course I'd be the same way. Like, bitch, I don't want this. I need to speak
it's
your
just
manager.
Like that bus driver, and I believe it was in Detroit, that he was complaining about some guy coughing on. I don't know if it was a guy or girl. He was complaining about somebody coughing on the bus, and come to find out 2 days later, this guy dies from coronavirus. And this is the type of shit that we're putting, the people through, and we're just letting the workers say, well, fuck them, hell, we need to make us a little bit of money. What's up? That's the type of thing. This is why I was voting for Bernie, because Bernie actually care about the workers. He did say we need hazard pay. He did say minimum wage need to be higher than what the hell it is.
And I feel like that goes back to why they definitely should buckle down even more on, like, if you're sick, you need to stay home, because if you get caught out, you're gonna get arrested. I feel like it needs to be taken to that level, because something like that, if he got it from that person that was coughing like that on the bus, that's involuntary manslaughter. Like, you are infected with something, you chose to go out coughing and carrying on, probably was not wearing a mask, and you took the risk to infecting somebody else. Now that person is dead. I mean, like, it's really common sense. That's why, like, I remember the lady, she had a mask on, but I still was just disgusted. This was a few weeks ago. I went to CVS to try and find a thermometer, because I was like, I want to,
You told me about that.
Right. I needed a thermometer, so I can kind of keep up with this, like, kind of, when we need to quarantine ourselves and stuff, just to make sure that we don't experience the symptoms, even though you don't have to necessarily have the symptoms in order to have it, but I'm just saying. And how she was just coughing like this bitch was mucused up, like in her lungs, coughing. And I'm just like, are you serious right now? And that type of stuff, I'm like, on top of that, you got a husband that's with you. You couldn't just let him go out there? Like, you just had to come out the house and then sit like that? Like, that's how stuff gets spread. Like, that's I just gave her the nastiest look like, bitch, you nasty. Go home.
And that's what we deal with on a daily basis. My timer's about to go out over here, so thank y'all so much for watching. Okay, so on this one, I can just say thank y'all so much for watching. This is the visual version, so the visual version will always be on YouTube, podcast version on Spotify and Anchor. And I love y'all, and I will see y'all later. Bye bye to all my little colors.
Thanks for having me.
You're so welcome.